Hey guys, how is it all going? So, thank you so much for joining me for what is my Scream 6 movie review. And to get into the plot of Scream 6, guys, it's very simple. Sam and Tara and the other characters from the last Scream movie have all left Woodsboro. They just want to leave the tragic events behind of what's happened and they move to New York. But unfortunately for them, Ghostface has followed them. And he is very stabby in this Scream movie. I think this is the most stabbiest ghost face we have ever had in any Scream movie. Has to be. There must have been about 1,000 stabs in this Scream movie. So if you like stabbing action, you're going to love Scream 6. Right. So to get into my history with the Scream movies, I've mentioned this before. I'm not a huge fan of Scream, but I don't mind the movies. Like, out of all the Scream movies, the only one I haven't really enjoyed was Scream 3. And I know the importance of what the original Scream movie did, especially for horror in the 90s. And I do really enjoy the first Scream movie, but I actually prefer Scream 2 over the original Scream. I think it's a solid sequel and done better than the original, but I'm probably in the minority on that one. And I really enjoyed Scream 4, and I did enjoy Scream last year. I thought it was a great return to the series and very entertaining, and I liked what they did with it. Even though I thought the reveal at the end of the killers and why they were doing it was a bit weak, which I mentioned in my Scream 5 review. But overall, I fully enjoyed that movie. So it was to my surprise when I was seeing all the early reactions for Scream 6. A lot of people saying on Twitter this is the best Scream movie since the original. And I wasn't seeing many bad reactions to it, to be fair, or indifferent reactions to Scream at that time. So I was very surprised when I went to watch Scream 6. I came out of it just thinking it was okay. Like, I wasn't blown away by it, but I was more disappointed in it than liking it. And I'll try to explain why without spoiling anything, because Scream movies are very, very hard to review. And you have to be very careful about what you say, especially to your audience who hasn't seen the movie. So I will start off with my positives, as I always do my movie review, guys. And I will say, I do like the cast of this movie. I think everyone does a good job for the most part. And I'll wait for that part later on when I get to my negatives. But for the most part, I think the main characters, our main four characters from the last movie, do a very good job in this movie. And I like them as well. I like the interaction of everybody, especially Sam and Tara. I think they are brilliant in this movie. And I think I developed a little bit of a crush on Sam in this movie because that girl is badass. She takes absolutely zero shit. Ghostface really met his match when it comes to Sam, and I like what they do with her character in this movie. They kind of explore a bit more of a background of being like Billy Loomis's daughter, and I like in the third act how that kind of comes out in her a little bit without giving anything away. But overall, I do like the characters, I think, and I think everyone did a good job. The side characters that they bring in, they do okay for what they're given. I think they're pretty forgettable and pretty throwaway in this movie. I don't really think they bring much or add much to the movie. But overall, I thought the guys did okay in their role, in what they were given. So fair play to them. And also, I briefly mentioned this before, but this has to be the most brutal Ghostface there has been in any Scream movie. I mean, like, I can't emphasize brutal enough. And like I say, very, very stabby. Loves the stabs. So I do like Ghostface in this movie a lot. And I also like how Ghostface was using different masks throughout the movie. So he's basically using masks that are like old Ghostface masks from the past movies, like he's using masks from other killers, which I thought was like quite an interesting take, like something quite interesting to do. And I quite like that. And obviously the mask that you see all beaten up and older mask, that's obviously the original mask. That's Billy Loomis's mask from the first one. So I did like that. It kind of gave a little mystery to it, more so. That intrigued me. Now, that being said, oh, and also, sorry, before I do get into the negatives, I really do like the start of the Scream movie. I think it's one of the best starts of a Scream movie since the original. I will say that. It's very good. And also points as well to the Jason Takes Manhattan Friday the 13th Part 8 Easter egg. I did appreciate that. I really did. But anyway, to get into my negatives of Scream 6, and I will say this, I did not like the third act of this movie. And I thought the reveal of the killers or killer, have to be very careful with what I say here, was extremely weak and very predictable. I think this is the most predictable Scream movie there's been. Oh, how do I say this without? I predicted certain things that would happen and who it could be pretty much halfway through this movie. Put it this way, when it came to the reveal and the final act, I wasn't surprised in the least of who it was or why it was. Because I also think the whole reason behind doing what they are doing was a bit of a letdown and pretty weak for me. I don't know why, but I was just expecting a little bit more. Maybe more of a surprise or something. I don't know, something more that was connecting the history of all the Scream movies. Because obviously, like, they're giving us, like, masks from the other Scream movies and other props and other things that connect all the other Scream movies together. So I was kind of thinking that, all right, at the end, we're going to get a big reveal that is really going to connect everything together and it's going to be something surprising that we haven't seen coming. And that doesn't happen. So I was a bit, flattened when that happened, really. I was just like, really? Is that it? This the reason? Kind of predict this, but it's so obvious that it would be the reason why and why it was happening that you wouldn't think that's what it would be. It makes sense if you've seen the film, guys. Trust me, I'm really trying to dance around it because I don't want to ruin it for you. But if you've seen the movie, hopefully you'll understand what I mean. And also, like I said, acting for the most part, I thought was good. There's certain acting choices in the final act of this movie that I found baffling. And I have to say, really, really, really bad. That at one point took me completely out of the movie for a little bit. I was laughing. And I wasn't supposed to be laughing. Some of the acting was horrendously bad, I thought, at the end of this movie. And like I say, if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I mean. You'll know who I'm talking about and what I mean. I want to give the actors the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that's what the director wanted and pushed them to be a bit more out there and a bit more theatrical. Which there have been in other Scream movies. I understand that. I get that. I know this isn't the first one to do it. But I thought it was done better in past movies. And I just thought the performances and the choices they just made was just a bit baffling. With the good performances that have come before then. So it kind of took me out of it. A little bit, I must say. And like I say, I just found it very predictable. But I will say it's not a bad movie. But I don't think it's a good movie. I literally just think it's okay. I think Scream fans will enjoy it if you're a Scream fan. 100% go out and check us out. There'll be a lot in this for you that you will enjoy, absolutely no doubt. There are parts of this movie I did enjoy. Like I said, I really enjoyed the start of this movie. I thought it was great. And there are cool scenes to it. And like I say, Ghostface is brutal, brutal in this Scream movie. He really is. But I just feel like it just doesn't hold together well and it just falls apart near the end. But in saying that, I do think it's worth checking out. I'm made up to see that it's doing well at the box office because as horror fans, we need to go out and we need to support horror and horror movies. And there's no doubt that we are going to get a Scream 7. I just hope that in the next installment, they just will be a little bit more ambitious for me and just take a few risks. So I just thought with the reveal and the reasons why, I think it just played it a little bit too safe. But I do think we should take risks for the next Scream and just try different things and just, I don't know, maybe freshen it up a little bit more than what it already has been. So overall, guys, I will give Scream 6 a 3 out of 5. Like I say, if you're a Scream fan, I think you're going to enjoy this movie regardless anyway. There's a lot in it for you. But I just think as a casual Scream fan, I think you'll go in and you'll walk out of it going, yeah, it was okay. But there are better Scream movies than this one. Like I say, I prefer Scream 5 from last year to this one. But it's a solid 3 out of 5. I do think it's worth checking out. So guys, what did you think of Scream 6? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Leave a comment below, guys. It is absolutely always a pleasure hearing from you. And, as always, please, take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you again real soon. Take care, guys. Goodbye now.